to do the Sham Ghariban.
بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا رسول الله. صلى الله عليك يا مولاي يا أبا بالله. صلى الله عليك سيدي وعلى أختك الحوراء زينب. Give some light. صلى الله عليك وعلى ولدك الإمام السجاد. صلى الله عليك سيدي أبا عبد الله وعلى أسارى بني هاشم يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة ويا عبرة كل مؤمن ومؤمنة مظلوم يا غريب كربلاء. ما خاب من تمسك بكم وأمن من لجأ إليكم. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. ولزينب ندب لفقد شقيقها. It's the night of Bibi Zainab. I ask my dear sisters, inshallah, respected mu'minat, to be silent, inshallah, to listen to few musibats about the occasion of tonight. بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات بفارسي. برادر خواهران محترم لطف میکنید انشاءالله. ما اعتقاد داریم، شما هم اعتقاد دارید انشاءالله که حضرت زینب، حضرت فاطمه سلام الله علیهم اجمعین حاضر میشن انشاءالله در این مجالس. لذا سکوت رو رعایت کنید. خدا حفظتون کنه انشاءالله. بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات. ولزينب ندب لفقد شقيقها تدعوه يا ابن الزاكيات الركعي. اليوم أصبغ في عزاك ملابسي سودا. Peace be upon you, O Bibi Zainab. اليوم أصبغ في عزاك ملابسي سودا وأسكبها طلعت الأدمع. اليوم شبوا نارهم في منزلي. My tent got fired tonight. وتناهبوا ما فيه حتى برقعي. اليوم ساقوني بقيد يا أخي. والضرب علمني وأطفالي معي. لا راح من أشكو إليه تظلمي. لم ألف إلا ظالما لم يخشع أنعم جوابي مرحبا يا حسين وما ترى شمر الخنا بالسوط لما ضلوعي فأجابها من فوق شاهقة القنا وضي القضاء بما جرى فاسترجعي تقل انا بعيني لباري لك عيالك اخويا وبروحي لسجت لك اطفالك خويا والموت لا يرضى بدالك يا رحنا ترى يا كلنا يا فداء لك لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. Tonight Allah has said, and the one who was repeating many times this verse, the head of Imam Hussein while he was beheaded. Is it a miracle? Yes, it is a miracle. And it didn't narrated from our sources, but as I was talking to one of our friends last night, 80% from the Qatligah and the story of the martyrdom of Hussein alayhi salam and his devotees and his companions, his family members who've been killed and became shaheed martyrs in the land of Karbala, 80% from the details was narrated from Hamid ibn Muslim ibn Makhnaf and other sources from the Sunnis, not Shia. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in chapter of Al-Kahf, the cave. أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجبا. Tonight is the night of 11th, the night of mourning, the night of weeping. It's tears comes out from our eyes because of this night is so painful. For whom? For the family members of Rasulullah, by the leadership of Bibi Zainab. Bibi Zainab started to lead the conflict, to lead the battlefield after the martyrdom of her brother Al-Hussein ibn Ali. So just few words I would like to mention before I come to the Musibah and Masaib and the tragedy of tonight. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Am hasibta anna ashab al-kahfi, the story of cave, the people of cave, the companions of cave, ashab al-kahfi wal-raqim. It takes time to get in details, but the main story is they spent 300 plus years as sleeping buddies. They were 4, and the 5th one is their dog. 6 or 7th one was dog, or more or less. يقولون 4 خامسهم كلبهم 6 سابعهم كلبهم الله أعلم بعدتهم. It's a secret. Yes, Rasulullah used to know how many, but he didn't give us how many people. They went to the cave, running away from the zalim, the oppressor. I don't want to get involved with the details of this story, but they spend how many years as people who sleep on their bed. Usually, if you want to go to sleep and you are so tired, any one of us, those who usually get some heavy work, 24 hours not to go to sleep, working day and night, then they want to come back to their homes to have some rest. It takes from them either at the most 20 hours sleeping. I doubt if there is anybody can sleep, even if he is so tired, more than 24 hours. 16 hours or maybe 12 hours at the most. They came up. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them the power. They were alive. while they were sleeping for 300 plus years. فَلَبِثُوا فِي كَهْفِهِمْ, they stayed as sleeping bodies, sleeping people, men, 4 or 6 or 8 or less or more, few, less than 10 for sure. They went to sleep for 300 plus. فَلَبِثُوا فِي كَهْفِهِمْ 300 عَامٍ وَازْدَادُوا 9. Either 300, this is a miracle also, in order to count the years based on the circulation of moon or the circulation of sun. 300 years equal 309 years. This is a miracle, a scientific miracle in Al-Quran Al-Karim. This is not my topic. Then they came up again. They came back to the life, and they were alive. The angel came, one of the friends of them, they used to talk to each other. How many days we spend in our sleeping? كم لبثتم؟ قالوا لبثنا يوما أو بعض. Is it a miracle or not? They responded to each other that maybe we were so tired running away from the zalim, from the tyrants, so we spent either a day or less. يوما أو بعض يوم. Maybe 12 hours, 16 hours. بل لبثتم 300 عام. It's a miracle. You know who used to recite this word? So don't be worried. It's not weird for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For me and you, yes. It's a miracle for us. But for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He could do it for somebody else also. So it's not for no reason. There is reasons behind it. When they came, as you heard the story of the tragedy of Karbala this afternoon, came Shimr and Sinan and others, Ibn Shuraik, these main three who came on the chest of Hussein alayhi salam to kill him. And they started to behead him. All the bodies were beheaded, by the way, all the bodies in the land of Karbala, but one was Al-Hurr Al-Riyahi in his story. Even At-Tifl Al-Radhi', Abdullah Al-Azhar, Ali Al-Azhar, 6 months old, they beheaded him. So they put all their hands on the big lance. وضعوا رؤوسهم على الرماح. Tonight, they used to hear the enemies and Zahra and Bibi Zainab alayhi salam. The beheaded head from Imam Hussein alayhi الرأس المقطوع, who has no life, reciting Quran. But which ayah from Quran? This ayah. Ayah number 9 from chapter of Al-Kahf. أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجبا. He was reciting the verse. So don't be worried that they spent 300 years as sleeping. And don't be worried. It's not something that you should really think about. Yes, you have to think because it's a miracle, but in the eye of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He can give that miracle not only for the prophets. You know, some Muslims, what they say, the Shia, they come during the night of Ashura and the night of 11th to talk about some miracles. The miracles had stopped after the shahadat of Rasulullah, after the death of Rasulullah. The answer is no. Allah can protect the mu'mineen by miracle. Is the people of cave. This is clearly in Al-Quran Al-Kareem. Is the companions of cave were prophets? Fityatun amanu bi rabbihim. Few youth, they had iman in their faith. They were not prophets. They were not infallibles. Allah gave them this, protected them by miracle. So what about Al-Imam Al-Hussein alayhi salam, who is one of the Hujjatullah alayhi, the infallible? He gave Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala this miracle to the head of Hussein to recite Al-Quran Al-Kareem. And there are another miracles has happened. You know what happened tonight? Zainab alayhi salam, one of the events, very, very, very painful events, very sad event, with a miracle. To shake our mind, our thinking, our body, to come back to Al-Imam Al-Hussein alayhi salam, to read it. This is my message, my dear brothers and sisters, and your message to all Muslims. I'm not talking about the non-Muslims right now, those who don't believe in Islam and Quran and miracles, but for the Muslims who usually they turn their faces away from attending majalis. Unfortunately, they didn't have that great iman in their faith to come and listen at least. Listen to the ayahs of Al-Quran Al-Kareem, to the miracle that has happened in the night of 11th, the lonely night, Laylatul Wahsh, Sham Ghariban. Right after the Shahadat of Hussein ibn Ali, which is very close to the Maghrib, Zainab alayhi salam turned her face to Al-Imam Zainul Abidin. He was unconscious for the whole nights of Muharram. Since the day one of arriving in Karbala till tonight, he was so sick. Ali ibn al-Hussein al-Sajjad alayhi salam. So he was laying down on the bed. وَكَانَتْ عَمَّتْ, he is saying this. وَكَانَتْ عَمَّتِي زَيْنَبْ تُمَرِّضُنِي. She was nursing him. Take care about him while she was sick. The whole nights of Muharram, since the night of 2nd till tonight, he was sick. That's why, my dear brothers and sisters, have you heard any narration has narrated from Zayn al-Abidin in the day of Karbala? Only one or two. He didn't have nothing to say about the tragedy of Karbala. But he saw for sure after the day of Ashura. Whatever we have, he carried the responsibility. He was the leader of the caravans of the captive of Ahlul Bayt. كان يتزعم مسيرة السبي all the way from Karbala, started from tomorrow. From Karbala towards Kufa, from Kufa to 17 different villages. We will inshallah say it tonight, tomorrow night. Till he arrived Sham. So he said this, or maybe another riwayah only, another narration. He was laying down on his bed. Then Zainab alayhi salam, she came to him, telling him, Ya ibn akhi, ma li ara al-kawna qad taghayyar. Look at this. Don't doubt of what they have narrated. Some narrations about the miracle that has happened in the day of Ashura, and especially after the death of Hussein ibn Ali. مطرت السماء دما, الإمام الصادق عليه السلام says. ما رفع حجر in the land of Karbala. No one could move a rock, but he used to see blood behind that rock and stone. ما رفع حجر ولا in the land of Karbala, not elsewhere. ما رفع حجر ولا مدر إلا وكان تحته دم عبيط. The sky was giving rain by bloody raining, not water, in the land of Karbala and elsewhere. Oh, my aunt, move little bit from the fabric of tent. Just move a little bit. It was closed. So she moved a little bit from the tent to see. Then he saw, Mali aral kawn qad taghayyar. I saw kawn has changed. The universe has changed. The color of the universe. The very high wind came. Then he said he was looking at the head of Hussein ibn Ali on the very long lance by his heart. He was the Imam, Hujjatullah, from minute one after the Shahadat of Hussein ibn Ali. So then he turned his face to her. Amma Zainab alaykunna bil firar. Now you should run away from the tents. I am seeing the head of my father is carried on the lance of one of the enemies. قتل الحسين قتل أبي الحسين فعم عليكن بالفرار. The universe has changed. The sky was raining blood. So they ran away. Why? This is another tragedy tonight. Because they burned by the order of Umar ibn Sa'ad, may Allah curse him. علي بقبس. Give me a flame from the fire to burn. لأحرق بيوت الظالمين. He didn't say the houses of Ahlul Bayt. The houses, the oppressors. He was the first oppressor. and he burned all the tents. They was running away from a tent to a tent, from a place to a place. They stayed for an hour or two at the middle of the night with no tent to go. They were all women and orphans and small kids and children. Then Umar ibn Sa'ad ordered to give for the children and women some water, and also to build a big tent, only one tent. So she was there taking care about Bibi Zainab. She was there to take care about the kids. One of the very, very painful events, Zuqayya alayhi salam, what you call her in your culture as a Sakina. The real name for her is Ruqayya, who is buried there, and the one who passed away on the head of Hussein ibn Ali in Sham on the 6th of Safar, when they were captives in Sham. When they arrived Sham, with 3 years old, she brought the sajjada, the janamaz, and she prepared, and she was waiting. Amma Zainab, oh my beloved Aunt Zainab, I'm waiting for my father to come to pray, because I'm preparing the sajjada for him every night to pray. Then she started to cry, Bibi Zainab, telling her what she should tell her. She is very young girl, very kid, 3 years old. She told her, Inna abaki fi safar. Your father is in the journey. He's not gonna come back. And she started to cry. She started to turn her face, Bibi Zainab, towards Haram Amir al-Mu'mineen, towards Kufa, to say, oh my beloved brother, we are here, come and help us. And one of the events, one of very, very painful events, very sad events in this night, and I'm concluding this tonight with this tragedy. You know what? I think you know it by your heart. Rabab, the mother. This is for my dear sisters, my respected sisters, and for all of you, my dear brothers. You know, when the women drink waters or liquids or juices or whatever, if she didn't, if the mothers, when they have small babies and infants like Rabab, they didn't drink water for 2, 3, 4 days, so she lost the milk in her chest. But when Umar ibn Sa'ad ordered his followers to give water, otherwise they will die, a person came to Umar ibn Sa'ad, Ibn Sa'ad, you want to take these ladies and kids as captives, or you want them to die? They are dying. And they did also. 1 or 2 from orphans of Ahlul Bayt has died from thirst. Give them some water. Then he listened also from the enemy. If you want to take them captives, let them be alive. They are dying from thirst. He gave all the household of Prophet Zainab and Kulthum, Ruqayya, Rabab, and Layla, and all the ladies, they drank some water. So Rabab felt that there is milk in her chest. Maybe her son is waiting for her to go to feed her, to breastfeeding her. Zainab alayhi salam, she was sitting on the tent. They didn't sleep at that night. As all of you know, she started to pray namaz al-Sham. Al-Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam telling her, oh Amma Zainab, araki tusallina min julus. You are praying, performing namaz al-Sham while you are sitting. You are not standing up. You should do Allahu Akbar. Why you are standing? She said, La taqata li. She said to him, La taqata li ala al-qiyam. I am so tired, I cannot pray, but with julus pray. So she was looking, she didn't sleep tonight, Amma Zainab. She was taking care about the orphans, and the kids were around her. And also the women. She was looking at Rabab. She couldn't find Rabab. Then she left out. She left the tent out, running, calling Rabab in the middle of the night. Where are you, Rabab? Then she was thinking, Zainab alayhi salam is telling us that I was thinking maybe she went to take the care about her baby Abdullah al-Radhi Ali al-Azhar. ذهبت عمتنا زينب وهي تنادي. She was calling رباب رباب in the desert of Karbala. وكانت تتعثر بأشلاء القتلى. The qatla and the martyrs were behind her and in front of her and in between her. She was going left and right till she arrived to the body of Imam Hussein Mawla Abu Abdullah, and she heard very, very small voice, Rabab, أين أنت? Where are you, Rabab? قالت سيدتي, oh my Zainab, when they gave me water, I felt that there is milk in my chest. So I said, let me come and find out where is my infant Ali al-Azhar. Maybe I can breastfeeding him. أما زينب سيدتي زينب كنت قد أحسست بالحليب بالماء في صدري فقلت آتي إلى طفلي الرضيع إلى علي الأصغر إلى عبد الله لعلي أجد فيه رمق من الحياة. But I saw him beheaded. There is no life in the body of Abdullah al-Radhi Ali al-Azhar. Sayyidatuna Zainab, she took her to take her back to the tent. وكانت تختنق بعبرتها سيدتنا Zainab. She was crying and she was remembering the time of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. In the middle of the night, she said to Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, Ya Abbas, man telli jibtni, you brought me here to this land. بيدك يا خويا ركبتني. Where are you now? بس ما رحت عني وعفتني عقبك بني مية ولتني. عباس يا حامي الضعينة والحرام بفناك قايت نامت سكاينة في الخيام صرخت ونادت يومئذ سقط العلام اليوم نامت أعين بك لم تنام وتسهدت أخرى فعايا الزمن تقول أخوي يا حسين أنا تحيرت والله بيتأمر ما ينحمل يا حسين فرقاك يا اخوي المثل هذا يا الوكيل يتردنا. هذه زينب ومن قبل كانت بفنا دارها تحط الرحال. والسلام عليك يا سيدتنا زينب يا بنت أمير المؤمنين وزينبا وعباسا وحسينا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.